The name's Gannon, Sean Gannon, host of the 12, Vlog 12. Welcome to the show, everybody. And, thank you. Thank you very much. And guess what? Folks? Just almost a week from today, is my 26th birthday. Thank you very much, everybody. Woohoo! It has been a great year of being 25 years old. Old for me. And thank you very much. And I'd like to thank everybody for my 950 subscribers to my YouTube channel. And our great famous engine, the Flying Scotsman, has had a great 100 years since he was built in 1923, and so has the Walt Disney Company, and as we all know, the Power Rangers franchise since 1993 has now been enjoyed a great celebration of 30 years, as has I Love Toy Trains from TM, of course, and about the stories of Sodor Season 5 to Victor Tanzig. So Victor, I noticed for Season 5 you've been doing all your episodes of this season for one whole year, which was 1965. And in your episode Munitions, as far as I'm aware, to all you Thomas fans out there, you may have noticed that the episode ended on a sad note. And I hope the season doesn't end on a sad note, because as the explosion of the tanker that Thomas was hauling, when Brenda Docks was on fire, at least in Victor Tanzig's universe, I just hope Thomas hasn't died, because he has been a true #1 famous tank engine to all of us around the world for so long. I hope he's still alive in the next episode, Fallout, which is, of course, the Stories of Sodor Season 5 finale. But if he's considered as dead, then we'll never hear the end of it. And except we will hear the end of his fame to all of us. It would be very sad if Thomas had died. Kind of reminds me of my mom's death a few weeks ago. It was like, my mom was born in 1960, you see, and just like Thomas, she has meant the world to me. About a few weeks ago, she died at the age of 63, and all because of her back surgery and her intense stomach ache. It's a long story, but I made a drawing of her in memory of her time. With all of us in our family. And here's what she looks like. An LMS Stanier Duchess class Pacific, based similarly to Mrs. Price, as we saw in our Valentine's Day special, vlog number 10, except it has, instead of yellow lining, she has white lining. Her number is 1960, and I wrote her original last name on the side of her tender. And I also added the bell and cow catchers, both on the front and back, to make her a little more American. Yes, my mom has been the greatest mom I've ever had. We both had our ups and downs, but we've always been through so many adventures together. Rest well, Heidi Gannon. Rest well. Now, about the DreamWorks movie Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken. As we all know, mermaids are the most majestic inhabitant of the underwater realms. But according to the Ruby Gillman movie, which came out a few months ago, mermaids are the most are in this case the most dangerous of all sea creatures, right? Wrong. Some people think they're far more dangerous than its so-called arch rivals, the Krakens. Now, although Krakens have been historically reviewed as monsters, according to the information of the species, they're awesomely sweet, perhaps a little awkward, but powerful creatures who serve as protectors of the deep, much like Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy from SpongeBob. And don't get me started on this true face of the mermaid monster. Those pointy fins, oh, don't even go there. Vicious claws, where'd those come from? And sharp teeth that bite harder than a great white shark. Oh, ridiculous. Definitely not true. Mermaids are beautiful. They're respectful and respected and good-natured. You hear me? Don't get me wrong. And yes, krakens are awesomely sweet, all the same, but so are mermaids. Both species should be reunited and protect the oceans together. And protect the deep blue sea together, side by side. Although I'm sure the plan would have possibly worked between Ruby and Chelsea. Now let me tell you guys about Chelsea. Chelsea Van Der. I forget what her last name is. Anyway, Chelsea is indeed the daughter of Nerissa, the evil mermaid queen. You see, now you may think that and if you think Chelsea actually really is Nerissa, wrong. I mean, they're both different characters, actually. Now, although Nerissa's grandmother, and so on, have been historically viewed as kind and well-meaning and caring mermaids of the Mermaid Kingdom, and in their times as mermaid queens, Nerissa, according to legend, thought she knew better. She was spoiled as a child mermaid and had always dreamed to control the ocean and would stop at nothing to get her way, unlike her ancestors. When Chelsea was born, Nerissa tried training her to become a violent mermaid, but just like her grandmother, Chelsea was a little nervous at first about this. She didn't think that controlling the ocean and by force would be a good idea, but when the Krakens found out about, but when the Krakens found out about the mermaid's betrayal from with their friendship, despite paying a terrible price, they managed to succeed in defeating the real Nerissa. And during the events of the movie, when Ruby Gilman finally retrieved the Trident and the Trident to Chelsea, she would discover that her so-called disguise was actually that despite her so-called disguise being the real Chelsea, a real self of Chelsea, she transformed. She somehow did this to trick her in order to avenge her mother. But after the events of the movie, Chelsea finally came back, exhausted, after a grumpy old sailor named Captain Gordon Lighthouse released her back into the ocean. And she and Ruby made up their rival, and with her mother Agatha's permission, and with special permission from her and from Queen Grandmama, the Queen of the Krakens, Chelsea is now a welcome student into the Oceanic High School, with Ruby as her best friend again. Now, so you see, I'll admit, not all mermaids have been awesomely sweet and all, but and of course, Nerissa has been no exception, but I gotta remind you guys, never underestimate the mermaid. You might well think that DreamWorks may have been making fun of Walt Disney, which released their 29th animated classic, The Little Mermaid, in 1989. If you think so, you're probably right. You guys are probably right. Mermaids should be respected, just like the Krakens. Anyway, guys, I think that's it for today's special 26th birthday vlog by yours truly. Hey. and I want to thank you guys for I want to thank you guys for giving me 950 subscribers, and I am looking forward to celebrating my 26th birthday. 26th birthday with all of you guys out there. So, and I hope everyone, and speaking of which, we're now getting closer to Christmas this year and the New Year. So I hope you guys have a great Christmas and a Happy New Year. Here. Until next time, this is Sean Gannon saying, make sure you go like and subscribe to my channel. Well, if you want to help me hit 1,000 subscribers, and I'll see you next time in another vlog. So until then, this is Sean Gannon saying, dry rails and good running, everybody. Hey, and remember, stay cool, guys, and Merry Christmas.